Hello friends of Private Universe, this is Carlos Camacho Psychologist. Today we're doing one of those podcasts where I'm driving safely, of course. I've got all the gear installed in my car to be able to have both hands on the wheel and concentrate on the road, so all good. I wanted to talk about creativity today. It's important because a lot of people...
In 2 kilometers, continue onto M1 towards city.
Thank you. A lot of people think that creativity is only one of those things that some people, very gifted people, have, and the rest of us have to look in awe at what they've done. But it's been proven that creativity is something learned. The more you practice it, the better you get at it. It's incredible, isn't it? And so I'm a good example of that. Despite being mediocre in most things, I kind of like give it a go and something sticks. That's why I'm still giving this podcast a good go. It's been 4 years, get a few hits here and there, that's fine. But you never know, you got to be in it to win it, they say. And that's part of creativity too. Just talking here while I'm driving.
Use the right 4 lanes to continue onto M1 towards city.
Right, okay. Right 4 lanes. And so with creativity, it's one of the things that we have to, I think if you can, for those people that feel that they're not artists and so forth. And by the way, creativity is not only restricted to art, it's also in business and in other aspects. It's good to be creative, to create, to think with you outside the box, outside the square, to be able to provide new ideas for solutions and so forth. That's how things happen, whether it's painting or mathematics, you know. And we all have the ability to, but
in 1.2 kilometers,
we can't
keep left onto Warringah Freeway towards western suburbs.
Expect that creativity is just going to come. In fact, it's the opposite. When you hear a great song, for example, and you go, wow, I wish I had written that. For example, when you listen to Kuko or Soft Tissue Damage and you think, wow, that guy's a genius. How does he come up with that stuff? Well, there's a lot of work that goes into that. There's a lot of stuff that isn't used, yes, in order to get to that final result. There's a lot of stuff that's not used. And so you find that people that are creative and live off their creations
Use the left lane to keep left onto Warringah Freeway
had a
towards
lot
western suburbs.
of rejection, but they just don't take it personally. They don't really care, you know. It's one of those things that they just have a vision in mind, and that may change. If you're creative, it should change actually, and that's fine.
Keep left,
you know?
then keep right onto Warringah Freeway towards western suburbs.
To expect to hit the bullseye straight up, like that, how ridiculous is that? If you're playing
Use the right 2 lanes
darts,
to keep right onto Warringah Freeway towards western suburbs.
you're going to expect yourself to throw the first dart and hit the bullseye, and then to hit the bullseye every single time. It's ridiculous. But yet in some things like art, music and production and even like we said in business and so forth, people get demoralized when
in 3.8 kilometers,
their idea doesn't materialize and is not successful. So you find that most people that are very successful in whatever, whether it's in sport or in rock and roll, in military or whatever it is, throughout history as well, you read their autobiographies or biographies and you find that there were a lot of no's, there was a lot of failures, a lot of errors, a lot of mistakes, a lot of disbelief from others, but never from themselves. They always felt that their idea was a good one, and if it wasn't, then they would tweak it, a bit like Michael Jordan did when he was 12, didn't get into the basketball team. This is a well-known story. And on the way back, he could have just thought, oh, well, give this in. Or his dad could have thought, oh, what do they know, son? Don't worry, you're better than them. You know, but no, a 12-year-old when he was 12-year-old, he just decided to that 250 hoops he was shooting every day to practice wasn't enough. He needed 500. And his father was probably smart enough to say not to say anything either, rather than to blame everyone else, like most people do. So it's important to point the finger inwards. Expect the best from yourself, but that best may not necessarily be your final best. It might not be your starry night. Your starry night might be yet to come. Yeah? And you need a lot of other things before that starry night comes, yeah? Before your fifth symphony, yeah? Of course. Maradona scored that brilliant goal in 1982, and he had been playing already for almost 20 years. So it's one of those things that if you expect success straight up and you can't handle it, then that's going to affect your creativity process, because it's exactly that. It's a process. And even if you're not going to live off it, it's good for you. It's important that in this mortal existence we have, that we make sense of the world in a different way. That's why creativity works, and that's why we have art. That's the answer to when science and business students at university in first bachelor degree ask Bachelor of Arts students why they're studying that if they can't make any money out of it. The answer is that it's needed. We all need it. We all need it because we're capable of seeing and even dealing with the world in a different way. That's not the reality we experience. We need that, or else it could be unbearable sometimes. If you want to start a creative process, make sure you're realistic. Have a long-term plan, and more importantly, practice every day, whatever it is you're doing. Whether it's you're playing the violin or you're coming up with mathematical formulas or whatever it is, you know. It's extremely important to do that. So it's one of those things that you need those two things to start off with: a realistic long-term plan and a routine. Just like you're saving money or you're building muscle or losing weight, yeah? Or you're just walking from here to the other side of the earth. You've got to start every day with one foot here and there, you know? And each step is what makes it happen. Each step is what makes it happen. Can't expect to jump from here.
Use the left lane to keep left onto A4.
Oh, that's great, because the left lane's totally packed. What am I going to do? Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, fucking ass. Oh, sorry guys. There's a big line, and I just broke my own rule. Don't sneak in the front of the line. Crap. Anyway, I am doing a podcast, I suppose, and trying to get to a talk. So my time's more important than everyone else's, isn't it? Nah. Everyone's time's important. It's just that I just got lucky. There was a bit of an opening just before the tunnel here. I do feel a bit bad. Poor people behind me. Anyway, that's the way it is, my friends. Practice, make a long-term plan. I think I'm going to continue with these talks on creativity because it's something I'm interested in at the moment. And I'm going to go a little bit further into why creativity is important, even if you're a business student, because that's only a one-dimensional way of experiencing the world. And you don't need to paint a starry night, but it is important for your well-being, your mental health, to use all parts of your brain, and your imagination is extremely important. And you'll find that when you start doing some of these things and you just decide to budget 20 minutes a day for it, whatever it may be, whether it's learning the piano, writing a poem, yeah, painting something or drawing something. It doesn't even have to be that artistic. It could be also thinking of a way that might help others through an app or whatever it may be. Of course, to materialize something like that takes a lot of other things, some money and copyright and blah blah blah, who knows, but there's lots of ways of being creative, and it could be through gardening as well, or finding a way.
Use the left 2 lanes to take the exit towards Glebe and Wentworth Park.
Yes, I'm going to Glebe, guys, but I'm actually going to Sydney Uni for a talk. I thought I'd chuck that into, and it doesn't necessarily need to be arty-farty, my friends, but also listening to a podcast or to music or playing an instrument is wonderful time. Go surfing, be creative in the way that you decide to stand on that bloody thing, which is so hard.
Take the exit, then turn left onto Piermont Bridge Road towards Glebe.
How many times have you realised that some of the best surfers or tennis players or golfers don't even follow the right
At the
technique?
traffic lights, use the left 2 lanes to turn onto Piermont Bridge Road towards Glebe.
They know the technique, but they decide not to follow it because they found a better way of doing it, or standing on the board, or hitting a forehand, or putting, or whatever it may be, because we have to find our own. That's being creative. I'll turn this blinker off while we're yeah, so anyway, I'm going to think about it a bit more next time. It might be good for a podcast, but I'm going to go further into the philosophical necessities of creativity, why it's so important. It's not only for gifted and hippie people, it's important for everyone, I think, because it's part of being human, and I think we're going to come up with a way to help you be able to do that. For the time being, come up with a long-term plan, 20 minutes a day doing something that you like, or even 10 minutes is a good start. Remember, habits are formed very, very quickly, within days. And you know what? It doesn't matter if you don't know whether you want to learn the violin or learn the piano. Just grab one of them or grab both. Then you'll know. You don't have to know what you want to do. Just give things a go. Be like me. Be mediocre and give everything a go. And my motto is, I do a bit of everything but nothing well. But who cares? Who can take away what you've danced, my friends? Hey? All right, on that note, I'm going to go because I've got to get to this place now, and food for thought anyway. I'll see you next time. It's going to be a quick one, quick turnaround. In 1 week, I'll have the next one. All the best. Remember, friends of Private Universe, existence is a miracle.